Good morning, good evening, and good night, guys, wherever you are. This is Marco, mpmode.com, sending blessing to all of you. So, topic of today, the mind and the matrix, part 1. This is actually the first part of a two-part video series, and I felt like separating the video in two parts because the content is pretty long. So, with this series of video, I want to help you understand how your mind actually works. Because the point is that every time in your life you're trying to achieve something, your mind plays an important role. It's key. And chances are that you're not even aware of it. Your mind is like the force that is driving you. Everything you have and everything you did in your past has been generated at some point by your mind. Your mind controls you, whether you like it or not. And it is by understanding how the mind works that you can claim that control back and use it to generate and to have the reality that you really want. So let's start from the basics, okay? You have 3 minds. I know what you're thinking. What? Are you crazy? 3 minds? I'm not so smart. Don't worry about it. Let me explain. So for a better understanding of this concept, I want you to think about how a computer is built. It works really well. So let's say that you buy a computer, not the computer that you buy at the shopping mall or whatever. Let's say you build a computer from scratch. You buy the parts and you build it yourself, or you have somebody build it for you. Okay, computer is built. You put it on your desk and it does nothing, right? You turn it on, it does nothing. In order for the computer to do something, you need to provide it with some instructions. And once you give it the instructions, then the computer works. Okay? Your brain and the mind is the same. I want you to understand the difference between the brain and the mind. Right? The brain is the physical matter that allows the mind to operate, while the mind is the energy operating through the brain. Got it? It's a big difference. So this is the introduction, and now we're going to dive deep into the first mind, which is the subconscious mind. So when you buy a computer, the first thing that you need to install is the operating system, right? A system software which is responsible for managing the hardware and the resources and for providing common services to the program that you will install later. Your operating system is always running in the background, right? Its job is made of instructions, functions, and processes that you're not aware of unless you are like a programmer, right? But if you're not, all you see is your desktop background, right? So your operating system as a person is your subconscious mind. And like the operating system of a computer, your subconscious mind is always running. Because when you sleep, you dream sometimes, right? The dream is the product of the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is responsible for several processes which are involved in your survival every day. And you don't have to think about. For example, your heartbeat, your digestion, when you walk, right? When you walk, you don't think about how to walk, you just walk, right? The subconscious mind constantly stores information and learns new things. When you learn how to drive, okay, little by little, all the instructions that you get by practicing how to drive a car, they get stored in the subconscious mind, and at some point driving becomes automatic. Your subconscious mind is also responsible for the automatically triggered feelings, behavior, and emotions, right? Remember that we come from thousands and thousands of years of evolution. If you, right now, if you were in a savannah chased by a lion who wants to eat you, right? You would have the time to think about what to do. You would just run. You need to run as fast and as soon as possible because your life is in danger. What makes you run, what makes you trigger into running is your subconscious mind. Now, the society that we live in now is not so dangerous anymore, right? There's no lion running around most of the time, right? But the mechanism of creating something, creating a rule for triggering you into certain behavior or emotion or feeling is still the same. If in your past one experience that you had was perception, remember, was perceived as dangerous, okay, your subconscious mind had to cope with that by creating a rule which triggers you into doing something the next time the same situation occurs. Remember, the subconscious mind lives in the present moment all the time. So if the experience you had is 20 years old, the instruction is still valid, and the same behavior will trigger. To think in terms of a computer, imagine that you create an instruction to launch a particular program called run.exe every time the lion shows up. What happens? Next time you see a lion, you launch the program and you run. This instruction, in the case of the subconscious mind, is called belief. And your beliefs run in the background all the time. And once a belief is triggered, we have behavior, feeling, or emotion. As a result, it's automatic. Therefore, the subconscious mind is reactive. Your subconscious mind develops from 0 to 6 years old of age, right? Which is totally logical, because in order for you to survive to your environment, you have to adapt to your environment. From 0 to 6 years old, all you do is downloading information from the outside. And the point is that you don't get to choose which information to accept, because your survival depends on how well you adapt to the situation that you find yourself in, which 9 times out of 10 will be the background, the environment of your adult life. So you don't get to choose, you just download information and you constantly program your basic operating system. So, the job of the subconscious mind is also to protect you. Just as the body has its defenses against physical injuries, the mind also has its defenses against emotional injuries, beliefs, right? And these beliefs form what we call your ego. And their purpose is to help you avoid or overcome emotional shocks. Again, when you are a kid, you just download information from the outside. You don't get to choose. What I mean by that is that everything that was around you, your family, your environment, your education, was responsible for and will be reflected in your subconscious beliefs. All the good things and the bad things that happen to you between 0 to 6 years old contribute to program your basic operating system. All you did was simply adapting to the environment that was around you. So there you have it, part 1, the mind and the matrix. I'll see you next week for part 2. Thanks for watching. For those of you who want to lose fat and build muscle, and they think they can't because they don't have enough time, money, or space, I suggest you to go to my website, mpmode.com, click on the products tab, and get a copy of my book. If you like the information, you can show your appreciation by going to my website, click on the donate button, and donate any amount you think is equal to the information. At the very least, share this video with your family, friends, which you think may benefit from the information. As always, remember, stay strong, stay smart, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.